Shalom, family. This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 1. How doeth the city sit solitary, that was full of people? How is she become as a widow? She that was great among the nations, and princesses among the province. How is she become tributary? She weepeth sore in the night, and her tears are on her cheeks. Among all her lovers, she hath none to comfort her. All her friends have dealt treacherously with her. They are become her enemies. Judah is gone into captivity because of affliction, and because of great servitude. She dwelt among the heathen, she findeth no rest. All her persecutors overtook her between the straits. The ways of Zion do mourn, because none come to the solemn feast, or come to the roads. The roads to Zion do mourn, because none come to the appointed feast. All her gates are desolate, her priests sigh, her virgins are afflicted, and she is in bitterness. Her adversaries are the chief, her enemies prosper. For the Lord hath afflicted her for a multitude of her transgressions. Her children are gone into captivity before the enemy, and from the daughter of Zion. All her beauty is departed. Her princes are become like harts that find no pasture, and they are gone without strength before the pursuer. Jerusalem remembered in the days of her affliction and of her miseries all her pleasant things that she had been in the days of old, when her people fell into the hand of the enemy, and none did help her. The adversary saw her and did mock at her Sabbaths. Jerusalem hath grievously sinned, therefore she is removed. All that honored her despise her, because they have seen her nakedness. Yea, she sigheth and turneth back. Her filthiness is in her skirts. She remembereth not her last end. Therefore she came down wonderfully. She had no comforter. O Lord, behold my affliction, for the enemy hath magnified himself. The adversary hath spread out his hand upon all her pleasant things, for she hath seen that the heathen entered into her sanctuary, whom thou didst command that they should not enter into thy congregation. All her people sigh, they seek bread, they have given her pleasant things for meat to relieve the soul. See, O Lord, and consider, for I am become vile. Is it nothing to you, all ye that pass by? Behold, and see if there be any sorrow like unto my sorrow, which is done unto me, wherewith the Lord hath afflicted me in the day of his fierce anger. From above hath he sent fire into my bones, and it prevaileth against them. He hath spread a net for my feet. He hath turned he hath turned me back. He hath made me desolate and faint all the day. The yoke of my transgressions is about by his hand. They are wreathed and come up upon my neck. He hath made my strength to fall. The Lord hath delivered me into their hands, from whom I am not able to rise up. The Lord hath trodden under foot all my mighty men in the midst of me. He hath called an assembly against me to crush my young men. The Lord hath trodden the virgin, the daughter of Judah. as in a winepress. For these things I weep. Mine eye runneth down with water, because the Comforter that because believe. My soul is far from me. My children are desolate because the enemy prevailed. Zion spreadeth forth her hands, and there is none to comfort her. The Lord hath commanded concerning Jacob that his adversaries should be round about him. Jerusalem is as a menstruous woman among them. The Lord is righteous, for I have rebelled against his commandment. Hear, I pray you, all people, and behold my sorrow. My virgins and my young men are gone into captivity. I called for my lovers, but they deceived me. My priests and my elders gave up the ghost in the city, while they sought their meat to relieve their souls. Behold, O Lord, for I am in distress. My bowels are troubled. My heart is troubled, or is turned within me. For I have grievously rebelled. Abroad the sword bereaveth. At home there is as death. They have heard that I sigh. There is none to comfort me. All my enemies have heard of my trouble. They are glad that thou hast done it. Thou wilt bring that day that thou hast called, and they shall be like unto me. Let all their wickedness come before thee, and do unto them as thou hast done unto me. For all my transgressions, for my sighs are many, and my heart is faint. Man, that was deep. That was so poetic. Chapter 2. How hath the Lord covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud in his anger, and cast down from heaven unto the earth the beauty of Israel, and remembered not his footstool in the day of his anger. The Lord hath swallowed up all the habitations of Jacob, and hath not pitied. He hath thrown down in his wrath the strongholds of the daughter of Judah. He hath brought them down to the ground. He hath polluted the kingdom and the princes thereof. He hath cut off in his fierce anger all the horns of Israel. He hath drawn back his right hand from before the enemy, and he burned against Jacob like a flaming fire, that which devoureth round about. He hath bent his bow like an enemy. He stood with his right hand as an adversary, and slew all that were pleasant to the eye in the tabernacle of the daughter of Zion. He poured out his fury like fire. The Lord was as an enemy. He hath swallowed up Israel. He hath swallowed up all her palaces. He hath destroyed his strongholds, and hath increased in the daughter of Judah mourning and lamentation. And he hath violently taken away his tabernacle, as if it were of a garden. He hath destroyed his places of the assembly. The Lord hath caused the solemn feast and Sabbaths to be forgotten in Zion, and hath despised in the indignation of his anger the king and the priest. The Lord hath cast off his altar. He hath abhorred his sanctuary. He hath given up into the hands of the enemy the walls of her palaces. They have made a noise in the house of the Lord, as in the day of the solemn feast. The Lord hath purposed to destroy the wall of the daughter of Zion. He hath stretched out a line. He hath not withdrawn his hand from destroying. Therefore he made a rampart and the wall to lament. They languished together. Her gates are sunk into the ground. He hath destroyed and broken her bars. Her king and her princes are among the Gentiles. The law is no more. Her prophets also find no vision from the Lord. The elders of the daughter of Zion sit upon the ground and keep silence. They have cast up dust upon their heads. They have girded themselves with sackcloth. The virgins of Jerusalem hang down their heads to the ground. Mine eyes do fail with tears. My bowels are troubled. My liver is poured upon the earth for the destruction of the daughter of my people, because the children and the sucklings swoon in the streets of the city. They say to their mothers, where is corn and wine? That is chapter 2. When they swooned as the wounded in the streets of the city, when their soul was poured out into their mother's bosom. What thing shall I take to witness for thee? What thing shall I liken to thee, O daughter of Jerusalem? What shall I equal to thee, that I may comfort thee, O virgin daughter of Zion? For thy breach is great like the sea. Who can heal thee? And that's where we're at now, is healing. Finally getting a chance to truly heal. That's what we need. Taking that time to rest. We've been getting breached. We fortify, we get breached. Fortify, get breached over and over again. This became our routine, our song, our culture, our feeling, our attitude. From the moment that you wake up, then when you're about to go to sleep, you damn near carry all of these traumas and these woes for generations now. We're just now learning how to truly cope, accept, persevere, all of those things. Those are some of the utilities in the tool bag for healing. And the amount of strength and courage that it takes for you to be able to finally lay to rest the things that have troubled you, that have troubled your waters, stirred you up, made you angry, made you furious, It's time to calm that. Put a calm to that. Thy prophets have seen vain and foolish things for thee. And I can account to that for my own self, that not having my waters cool, being just a hothead. You start doing foolish things. So it's that time to heal. For thee, they have not discovered thine iniquity, to turn away thy captivity, but have seen for thee false burdens and causes of banishment. All that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, Is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? All thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, We have swallowed her up. Certainly, this is the day that we looked for. We have found, we have seen it. This is the day we've been looking for. We have found and we have seen it. It's very telling right there. The Lord hath done that which he had devised. He hath fulfilled his word that he had commanded in the days of old. He hath thrown down and hath not pitied, and he hath caused thine enemy to rejoice over thee. He hath set up the horn of thine adversaries. Their heart cried unto the Lord. O wall of the daughter of Zion, let tears run down like a river day and night. Give thyself no rest, let not the apple of thine eye cease. Arise, cry out in the night, in the beginning of the watches. Pour out thine heart like water before the face of the Lord. Lift up thy hands toward him for the life of the young, for the life of thy young children that faint for hunger in the top of every street. Behold, O Lord, and consider, to whom thou hast done this. Shall the woman eat their fruit, and children of a span long? Shall the priest and the prophet be slain in the sanctuary of the Lord? And that's where we're at now. Shall the priest and the prophets be slain in the sanctuary of the Lord? That's deep. The young and the old lie on the ground in the streets. My virgins and my young men are fallen by the sword. Thou hast slain them in the day of thine anger. Thou hast killed and not pitied. Thou hast called as in a solemn day my terrors round about, so that in the day of the Lord's anger none escaped nor remained. Those that I have saddled or swaddled and brought up hath my enemies consumed. Chapter 3. I am the man that hath seen affliction by the rod of his wrath. He hath led me and brought me into darkness, but not into light. And he made me walk in darkness. Surely against me is he turned. He turneth his hand against me all the day. My flesh and my skin hath he made me old. He hath broken my bones. He hath builded against me, encompassed me with gall and trouble, or bitterness and hardship. He hath set me in dark places, and they that be dead of old. He hath hedged me about, that I cannot get out. He hath made my chain heavy. Also when I cry and shout, he shutteth out my prayer. He hath enclosed or blocked my ways with hewn stone. He hath made my paths crooked. He was unto me as a bear lying in wait, and as a lion in secret places. He hath turned aside my ways and pulled me in pieces, and hath made me desolate. He hath bent his bow and set me as a mark for the arrow. He hath caused the arrows of his quiver to enter into my reins, or meaning his loins are literally kidneys. I was a derision to all my people. That's crazy just to even be going through all of that. To have the full wrath and anger of the Most High coming down on you and all of in every way. No stone unturned, you know. I was a derision to all my people and their song all the day. He hath filled me with bitterness. He hath made me drunken with wormwood. He hath also broken my teeth with gravel stones. He hath covered me with ashes, and thou hast removed my soul far off from peace. I forget prosperity, And I said, my strength and my hope is perished from the Lord, remembering my affliction and my misery, the wormwood and the gall. My soul hath them still in remembrance, and is humbled in me. Literally is bowed down. That's when you know your soul and your flesh have to literally humble amongst all of these. Because no matter how much you try to fight and squirm around, you can't win. This I recall to my mind, therefore have I hope. It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. That's beautiful. Feel like the Lord's mercies and his compassion for you fail not. Every new morning, every new grand rising is a new opportunity to test the strength and the greatness of your faithfulness. Have you truly repented in your ways? When that's really where it is. Like tomorrow's a new day. We say it all the time. Have you learned your lessons? The Lord is my portion, saith my soul. Therefore will I hope in him. The Lord is good unto them that wait for him, to the soul that seeketh him. And I'm learning that now. Is waiting. Being patient. I realized how impatient I was. And would get frustrated and get angry, and sometimes it'd be anger that wouldn't even be necessarily from that particular situation. It would just be, freaking compounded frustration or anger or rage from PTSD. Finally, you start figuring out where is all of these things happening. Why are you, behaving the way that you are, And it's because we get impatient with what the Most High is trying to do and operate in us. Time is a construct when you really look at it. It's like you really have to 100% be in that zone of focus and peace. Seeking, having your mind set on the Most High. Seeking him with all of your soul. Giving up your flesh. Giving up the worldly things. That is a lot of hard things to do. That's a lot of hard things for people to want to give up when you have been used and accustomed to it since you've been born. It's crazy how, can't imagine who you was in your past life. Was you that crazy one in Sodom and Gomorrah, turning up? You were the super turned up. And it's like, oh God, just let me come back. I won't turn up as bad. But then you get back here, and then you turn up, you start down there turning up worse than what you was in your past life. And he's like, look, yep, see, you wasn't listening. You didn't wait on. You didn't wait to get the lesson, to catch on to what the lesson was to seek him, to get that guidance, to seek him. What are you doing over and over again that's got you going into this loop of insanity? You got to sit and be patient and wait on him to actually give you the answers to your questions or your concerns or feedback. Anything. Prayers, What? No sound again? Serious? Can't believe that. know if it's just shutting out. I don't see how to. Thank you for letting me know. I couldn't see. You probably hear me now. It's through the mic of the microphone of the computer. It's, it's crazy because it sounds super loud in here. I wonder if it did that glitch thing again. Mm-mm-mm. Let me make sure. I don't know if it's this is a problem or I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Now that yeah, you can hear me now probably because I switched over from the microphone. I don't know. Every time I start being able to talk, yeah, the devil is a liar. Definitely don't want me to be talking. Mm-mm-mm. You know I'll be going in. That's crazy. Well, I guess we gotta do it from the microphone here. I do have my other recorded microphone here, but I don't need that when I have this as well. But I don't know why that's doing it. It's literally like it's like I'm getting hacked, and it just happens like just right in the middle of right where I'm about to start talking when I go back and listen to the videos. I don't know. It's just the weirdest coincidence now. I know that I'm not going to take my eyes off thinking about that right now. But I mean, this is it's not janky equipment. That's for one. So it's like, why is it just short circuiting out like that? Like being my conversations are being cut off before I can even get to them, and I don't even recognize it because the Bible is covering the screen below it. So sometimes it may, I don't know, I may have the my finger may hit or the Bible may hit, and but I'm never over the button that's hovering over the audio. So for it to be cutting out like that, everything is connected. There's no shorts in the cables. They're not bent. Um, yeah, I'm just at a loss for words of whenever I'm cooking. I could say that. Anyways, great glory, we're still here. No one monkey gonna stop that show. Yes, the Lord is good unto them that wait for him, to the soul that seeketh him. It is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of the Lord. I'm taking that in now. That is my lesson for the beginning of this year to now. It's going to be a great lesson that I'm going to have within the rest of my life, which is phenomenal. I'm humbled by that. It is. Wait, am I in the right place? Yeah, I'll read it anyways. It is good for a man that he bear the yoke in his youth. Yeah. He sitteth alone and keepeth silence, because he hath borne it upon him. And that's what you have to do. You got to be in your zone for the greatness to start to matriculate in you. You got to put in the work. You know, he putteth his mouth in the dust. If so be there may be hope. He giveth his cheek to him that smiteth him. He is full with reproach, for the Lord will not cast off forever. But though he cause grief, yet will he have compassion according to the multitude of his mercies. For he doeth not afflict willingly, nor grieve the children of the men, to crush under his feet all the prisoners of the earth, to turn aside the right of the man before, or the justice due of a man before the face of the Most High. To turn aside the right, to turn aside the justice due of a man before the face of the Most High, to subvert a man in his cause, the Lord approveth not. Who is he that saith, and it cometh to pass, when the Lord commandeth it not? Out of the mouth of the Most High proceedeth not evil and good? Wherefore doeth the living man complain, a man for the punishment of his sins? Dang, that's deep. Let us search and try our ways, and turn again to the Lord. Let us lift up our heart with our hands unto God in the heavens. We have transgressed, and we have rebelled. Thou hast not pardoned. Thou hast covered with anger, and persecuted us. Thou hast slain, thou hast not pitied. Thou hast covered thyself with the cloud, that our prayer should not pass through. Thou hast made us as the offscouring, and refuse in the midst of the people. All our enemies have opened their mouths against us. Fear and a snare is come upon us, desolation and destruction. Mine eye runneth down with rivers of water for the destruction of the daughter of my people. Mine eye trickleth down, and ceaseth not, without any intermission, till the Lord look down, and behold from heaven. Mine eye affecteth mine heart because of all the daughters of my city. Brings suffering to. Mine enemies chased me like sore, like a bird without cause. They have caused my life in the dungeon, and cast a stone upon me. Waters flowed over my head. Then I said, I am cut off. I called upon thy name, O Lord, out of the low dungeon. Thou hast heard my voice. Hide not mine ear at my breathing, or my sighing at my cry. Thou drewest near in the day that I called upon thee. Thou saidst, fear not. O Lord, thou hast pleaded the causes of my soul. Thou hast redeemed my life. O Lord, thou hast seen my wrong. Judge thou my cause. Thou hast seen all their vengeance and all their imaginations against me, or their schemes. Thou hast heard their reproach, O Lord, and all their imaginations against me. The lips of those that rose up against me, and their device against me all the day, whispering, behold, their sitting down and their rising up. I am their music, or their taunting song. Render unto them a recompense, O Lord, according to the work of their hands. Give them sorrow of heart, thy curse unto them. Persecute and destroy them in anger from under the heavens of the Lord. Chapter 4. How is the gold become dim? Oof, that's a bar. How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. The precious son of Zion, the precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold. How are they esteemed? As earthen pitchers, the work of the hands of the potter. Even the sea monsters draw out the breast. They give suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people is become cruel, like the ostriches in the wilderness. The tongue of the sucking child cleaveth to the roof of his mouth for thirst. The young children ask bread, and no man breaketh it unto them. That he did see delicately are desolate in the streets. They that were brought up in scarlet embrace dunghills. Ooh, that's heavy. That's deep. And that's crazy because you're seeing a lot of our women out here being scarlets and being Jezebels and hoes and lot lizards and thought boxes and 304s and all of these different things. You know, being embraced as dunghills. Like, being embraced as the dung that you are becoming. Not saying that you are, but you are doing the things that are making you that. Stop doing the things that are making you that, and you won't be that. Stop lying, and you won't be seen as a liar. Stop cheating, and you won't be seen as a cheater. Stop stealing, you won't be seen as a thief. Stop killing, you won't be seen as a killer. Stop touching kids, you won't be seen as a pedophile. For the punishment of the iniquity of the daughter of my people is greater than the punishment of the sin of Sodom, that was overthrown as in a moment and had no hands stayed on her. It's interesting because it's like you keep doing these things and like expecting like to get a different like you can move the goalpost so you can change the consequence of your sin. It's like you committing these sins, like this is what it is. You can't get mad at a man for saying that you're not supposed to be doing a sin because this is what's going to happen to you. Like, he don't have to say nothing or she don't have to say nothing. You can let God sort you out. That's the ultimate. The Most High can sit there and sort you out. It don't have to be me sitting here telling you that you ain't supposed to be doing what you're supposed to be doing when you know you ain't supposed to be doing what you're supposed to be doing because you've been told before. It ain't like you ain't never been told, like, oh, I didn't know about this drug. Everybody didn't go through elementary or middle school where, you know, you went through yeah. So people like to have selective memory. Her Nazarites were purer than snow. They were whiter than milk. They were more ruddy in body than rubies. Their polishing was of sapphire. And it's interesting because all the nobles that you see, you know, you hold them up in high stature as if they're white as snow. You hold all these people up in supremacy has been holding all these people up in high stature, even regardless of the crazy sins that they've been doing. Touching kids in churches. Who was that? Jimmy Swagger just passed today. 90 years old. 9. So yeah, you have the 9. Jimmy Swagger, 90 years old. I remember him watching him as a kid. He had this scandal that just kept putting it on the TV. Now, in that case, if it was a brother, he'd have went through the ringer. He'd have got the R. Kelly, the Bill Cosby, the Michael Jordan treatment. You'd have got all that. But this man was, all of his stuff, it was able to still be upheld. Man had a nice, kept on living, like everything was good. It's interesting because he just, like, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to bring it up because, yes, he did just pass today. But just the amount of effort that's going into keeping the narrative and the positive pendulum for many of these people who have done so much wrong throughout history. You know, whether subtly or blatantly. Jimmy Swagger was one of them. one of those sheep, one of those shepherds that led a lot of blind sheep off the cliff. I remember seeing this when I was a kid, young. I don't know how I remember all these things and how this popped up in my. But when you go on your journeys and you start you start remembering things. Like that's a beautiful feeling. Shalom family. We live on Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Kick, X, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Baruch Hashem for everybody joining. Just talking about the white of snow and how many of these pastors and preachers who can sit here and do all the wrong can be perceived in the narration created that they don't have that they don't do no wrong. So I'll go into another video after this of, Jimmy Swaggart. So we'll leave it at that. But yeah, people commit the greatest of sin and the punishment in Sodom and Gomorrah, and they're allowed no hands touch them. Like you literally, they stayed cool. They was all good. It's crazy because the Nazarites were purer than snow. They were whiter than milk. They were more ruddy in bodies than ruby. Their polishing was of sapphire. Their visage or their appearance is blacker than a coal. They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaveth to their bones. It is withered. It is become like a stick. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain but with hunger. For these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. And that's what's happening. You're seeing many of these folks get starved out. The blessing is gone. The hands of the pitiful, the hands of the pitiful woman have sodden or have boiled their own children. They were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people. Wow, that is deep. That's deep. The Lord hath accomplished his fury. He hath poured out his fierce anger, and hath kindled a fire in Zion, and it hath devoured the foundations thereof. The kings of the earth and all the inhabitants of the world would not have believed that the adversary and the enemy should or could have entered into the gates of Jerusalem. And that's really, you got a lot of, hidden agents, agents of, chaos and confusion, Trojan horses, curse of the golden flower, have entered the gates of Jerusalem. For the sins of her prophets and the iniquities of her priests that have shed the blood of the just in the midst of her. And it's crazy because it's just saying right there where you have prophets and priests that have gotten in behind our closed walls. They've gotten into our communities and have spread this poison. They have shed blood in the midst of us as we watched. We watched as these people crept into our communities, into our lives, all day, every day, and have shed our blood in front of us and said, no, it's okay, you're supposed, no. Just diabolical. That's just crazy diabolical. Our people are traumatized, y'all. We got to understand we have been infiltrated in so many different ways that you have to be able to take a second to think about and investigate all of the different ways that we've been infiltrated like that. And that's where you have to have forgiveness in your heart. You have to have a deep well of forgiveness, even for all of these people that have transgressed against you, your elders, your ancestors. You have to be like good game. Like when you sit there and play, Pop Warner football and you lose, or basketball and you got to go shake your opponent's hand in the boxing ring. Hey, great match. I lost. However, I felt like I lost, whether it was righteously or not. Now my stomach is growling, saying, yes. You tell him, because I need you to feed me. You gotta feed me, Seymour. But yeah, to be able to have these people have been able to get behind our gates in our lives and have been able to get away with these things and saying that it was okay. So it's like you did these things diabolically, did diabolically evil and cheated and barbaric and stuff like that. We just would be like, man, just gotta turn the other cheek and be like, hey, if that's the game you play, that's how you been rocking and rolling. Hey, we ain't been rocking and rolling like that. You can see that you done did all of this stuff for 400 plus years, and we ain't came back and ain't been no retribution. Ain't nobody came back and did them dirty, ugly, nasty, disgusting things that y'all did to our people. Even still to this day, we ain't going around hanging white folks from trees. We ain't tarred and feathered. We ain't injected y'all with no crazy biological warfare, you know, pestilence. We haven't done anything. We haven't done none of this stuff. We ain't going around in army tanks threatening and making your communities feel unsafe and bothered. Yet and still, even to this day. So that goes to show the complete stark difference of the mirror that is in front of you guys in comparison to the mirror that's in front of us. That's why the mirror that's in front of us, I just tell my brothers and sisters, hey, you need to have much more grace and forgiveness for each other and understand that we are traumatized. We've gone through a lot of different things that we're not truly taking into consideration. That's why we have to hit the reset button on what everything we thought we know. What is normal? You got to be able to hit the reset button on, whew, this was a crazy, interesting, intricate game that was played on us by people who were perpetuating themselves as being white as snow. Yeah. These prophets and prophets have shed blood in the midst of her. They have wandered as blind men in the streets. They have polluted themselves with blood so that men could not touch their garments. Yeah, you couldn't get nowhere close. You couldn't say anything, and they had their minions to protect them. They had their beehives. They got inside of our gates and set up shop headquarters. Just like the movie Avatar. Sat there and landed on that planet and set up shop and was able to infest from there. It's crazy. They cried unto them, depart ye, it is unclean. Depart, depart, touch not. When they fled away and wandered, they said among the heathen, or the nations, they shall no more sojourn there. The anger of the Lord hath divided them. He hath no more regarded them. And that's what you're seeing. You're seeing a complete destruction and dysfunction amongst all of the other nations, amongst each other. Simple as that. You're seeing all of everybody's angst and dysfunctions and true feelings, saying all the quiet parts loud. They respect not the persons of the priests. They favored not the elders. Whew, this is deep. And especially on the day where you got swagger out of the game. Who's going to take over all of that? It's going to be too heavy for the siblings. It's going to be too heavy for the offspring. And children ain't going to want to do that because they want to live their own best life. How often do kids actually follow in their family's legacy? How many kids actually follow in their father's footsteps? They may actually follow in the negative side of the things and may not subconsciously, subliminally see them occur in their life until, the light bulb clicks on and they actually see it after the fact. But yeah, but the respect level for many of our elders that have jacked up a lot of things just did not say, I'm sorry or I apologize, even taking any accountability or even gotten down and being like, you know what, hey, I made this spill. Let me grab a mop bucket. You've seen many, you've seen a lot of these OGs skedaddle right on out of there after they make the spill. I hope nobody see it. I hope nobody see this on the ground. So yeah. So that respect factor is like, bro, didn't you just doodle on the floor? It's like seeing somebody like allow their pet to doodle on the floor and then they don't pick up the doodoo after the dog. You know, it's kind of like that. It's like the respect factor. It's like, dude, you know that it is a universal agreement amongst people who are pet owners. Like, pick up after your family member, you know. So people have been losing favor with the elders like that. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. That's facts. Sitting there watching these people young, like I said, even with, Swaggart as a kid. I remember seeing Swaggart on the TV, the squiggly lines because we didn't have cable. I was a kid, hitting the side of the box with the antenna, with the aluminum foil and the broken remote control that didn't have it didn't have the 0 or the 1. It had all the other numbers, but missing those numbers. But I remember seeing this stuff. I remember them shouting in the streets, thinking these people can come into our communities and try to help us and save us. I was always looking at that weird. I was always looking at that weird. The guys with the backpack and the suits, and it's hot outside. They got a whole little satchel, man purse full of pamphlets, but no food. They never had no food. They was always riding around hungry. Every time I talk to one, man, I'm starving. I'm hungry. Like, okay, like they don't feed y'all. Yeah, but this is what would happen in our communities. They would infiltrate us, man. It's crazy. But none of these people could save us. Their version of saving us is hurting or debilitating us or hindering us or finding a way to freaking cause massive extinction or exodus of our people, man. It's crazy how the backhanded apology type of irony behind these, you know, corporatized, capitalistic, ideology based or energy based behind that action was still evil at hand. So that's why you just they always said to them, you just can't trust none of them what they talking about, none of what they saying, because it's all based off of that vanity. Look at me, I need to be seen. Look how I need you to take this. Poof. And you're seeing it happen. It's being fulfilled. Prophecy is being fulfilled. Prophecy is truly being fulfilled right now. They hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. That's facts. Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. Our prosecutors or our pursuers are swifter than the eagles of the heaven. They pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness. The breath of our nostrils, the anointed of the Lord, was taken in their pits, of whom we said, under his shadow we shall live among the heathen. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no mercy carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. It's amazing to see that, that we are now seeing the sins of the people that, never was openly honest about it. I've been here openly honest about my whole life. I ain't got nothing to hide. I'd have been through too much. I got stories to tell. I got too many stories. But, I allow all those bad decisions or those moments in life to be, it has to be your testimony. You can't have a testimony without going through a test. You have to be battle tested. You have to be fire forged. I've been lava forged. I've gone through the magma. And many of us have. That's why we have to have more grace on each other, because we really have gone through stuff. To even have to be at this clear headedness, to be at this sense of maturity, mentally, emotionally. I'm not triggered by all the stuff that was emotionally just tripping and bugging out about. I'm like, now just like when you look at yourself hindsight, I would be hysterically laughing at myself, all the snot boogers I was crying. Like truly, you know, like the Most High is going to take care of you. He is not going to give you more than you cannot handle. No weapon formed against you will prosper. The world is your oyster, and you ain't supposed to be sharing your pearls among swine. And now that you see in 83 and all the other nations suffering, they are coming to us for all of the help that we thought y'all was the help. We thought y'all was the ones who were the superior. We thought y'all was the one who had it down lock, who had it all together, who were acting like y'all don't stink. But now it's becoming a whole different reversal now, where you got people who are hitting you up, asking you for advice, asking you for support, asking you for tips. Do not cast your pearls among swine. Because now you're seeing that all of these people that let you clear off a cliff. And people that let you clear off a cliff. Ooh, chapter 5. Remember, O Lord, what is come upon us. Consider and behold our reproach. Our inheritance is turned to strangers, our houses to aliens, and that's what we have done. We've done that for such a long time. We have allowed people to come in and freaking Dave Chappelle, Rick James, fuck your couch, nigga. Literally. You've allowed people to come in and infiltrate, taught you how to teach your kids. Black women, all these other women, and came in and taught you how to get your man. Black men, you let government zaddy come in and game your women, and then kick you out of the house, and then lock you up and kept you away from them so they can be puppeteering over them for such a long time. It's a cold game, y'all. It's a cold game. We are orphans and fatherless. Our mothers are as widows. We have drunken our waters. We have drunken our water for money. Our wood is sold unto us. That's crazy. Because he gave us, that's crazy. Wow. Wait, we must pay for the water we drink. We must pay for the water we drink. You got to pay to use your talent. That's crazy when you think about like, anytime I get this, like, Most High, I get downloads, and I can't control it. I can't contain it. When you think of things like Motown, like you can't even use your talent without us. Like we have to be the validating authority over. What you're doing right now is on the fritz. We gotta watch you. You know. They came back in and they infiltrated your land. Okay, brothers, God gave us wood. He gave us the trees. He didn't give us the damn chair. He gave us the wood and the trees. He gave us the trees first to make the wood, to then carpenter the wood and turn it into chairs. Our brother Yahushua was trying to showcase this to us the whole time. It's like you are. What are you doing? You have it. You don't gotta go seek any validation from any of these other nations and kiss ass and suck up. Like you are the specialty. And you allow these aliens to come in and alienize you, gentrify your land, and make you pay for the water that you made or pay for the creations that you created. And that's what we're doing when we talk about reparations. Our brothers and sisters are owed over $9 quadrillion. If you want to count that up and look at it, We are owed over $9 quadrillion. When you add up every single stolen, I'm just telling you, everything was stolen. Everything. If you want to keep it at principle, if you count out even interest, which is not going to be counted out, because at the end of the day, there's no amount of money that could put a price tag on any of the lives that were lost during this whole time. You guys' hands touched our melanated skin for 400 plus years and expect to not have any retribution by the Most High. The retribution and the revenge didn't come from us because we knew better. We were already in the curse. That's why we did not re-engage. That's why we did not react back with sword against sword. We would not have survived being sword against sword. So you're getting a history lesson on all of what has transpired throughout history of why didn't those black folks or why didn't those slaves? We was in a curse. We was in a curse. No matter how many ways we would have skinned it or sliced it, we would have been signing up for our own swimming down the creek without a paddle. But the fact that we knew better, our ancestors, our elders knew better, and they passed this information down to us from generation to generation, and just keep on holding on. We don't know when it's going to happen because a lot of this stuff to us is foreign. We need y'all help. We need, like, it's crazy how they needed our help and we needed their help. They needed our help to keep on holding on, and we needed their help to help investigate all of these things that are happening now. And they are sending all of these beautiful downloads back to us. They're coming back to us in the weather and in the elements. They're showcasing up everywhere. We're living in amazing times right now where we are being able to connect back with our ancestors, where they sit and they congregate with us around them. This is unheard of. When you think about the movies that they have played that have created this narrative of tabooism behind our culture, behind our history, it's amazing how this just gets completely disjointed and completely misconstrued. And then you have to look at it like, dang, we were really drinking this Kool-Aid. We were really drinking this curse of the golden flower. And it almost succeeded many times over again. But we have very strong brothers and sisters that they didn't give a damn. They would be damned if they had let this prevailed. They kept on going on. They was that fast enough to outrun them damn dogs. They was fast enough to outrun horses. Yeah. And we kept going on. We don't die, we multiply. We babies, kids. But they came in and they sold our wood back to us. How crazy is that? You made us fatherless by taking away our fathers. And this is the Willie Lynch letters. If you have never read a book, I'll tell you right now, as anybody who didn't really get much Black history teaching in school, pick up Willie Lynch letters. That at least help guide you. That at least help showcase to you what has transpired when you match it with the scriptures. It's amazing how scripture becomes in our literature. It becomes in our everyday essence. It becomes prophetic behind the unbelievables. The things that we cannot even explain that wind up happening and popping up. And you're like, this is not a part of the This is not a part of the itinerary or the literature. But you got to understand these people didn't lie to us, and big snake oil salesmen came back and sold you snake when you were selling the cure. They re-engineered it and re-sold you back the venom and convinced you that the cure that you were antibating or antidoting from venom to turn it into a cure in the first place. And they took it and was like, nah, we're going to turn this cure back into a venom. And we're going to sell it back to you. And said, no, this cure, well, I don't know what you was thinking about a cure. This venom. You're supposed to put this venom. You're supposed to smack this venom in your veins. It's crazy. It's crazy the mental, the stuff that our people went through, y'all. Yeah. Our necks are under persecution. We labor and have no rest. We have given the hand to the Egyptians and to the Assyrians to be satisfied with bread. Our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquities. Servants have ruled over us. There is none that doeth deliver us out of their hand. We get our bread with the peril, or we get our bread with the peril of our lives because of the sword of the wilderness. Oof. And that wilderness is lonely. Can't nobody go through the wilderness for you, you got to go by yourself. Can't nobody have you go on the other side and see and if you have not gone on a journey, if you have not taken any of the mycelium, the psilocybin, the fungi, the sacred mushroom, the SM, if you have not taken it, if you have not gone actually to, you have to. What are you doing? What are you waiting on? You need to find out. There's stuff that you need to find out that I cannot find out for you. I found out what I found out because of what I was able to be shown. But there are particular things that we all must find out and know and learn and are the incubators of whatever information that we are supposed to be holding. We're holders of it to share. It's interesting now that now the Instagram want to start messing up. Anyways, our skin was black. Our skin was black like an oven because of the terrible famine or the fever. They ravished our women in Zion and the maids in the cities of Judah. Princes are hanged up by their hand. The faces of elders were not honored or respected. They took the young men to grind, and the children fell under the wood. The elders have ceased from the gate, the young men from their music. The joy of our heart is ceased. Our dance is turned into mourning. And that's what I don't want to feel. Can't give up. All right, this took a whole chunk out of my Ezekiel. My Ezekiel tab came out. I don't have it, so I'm missing words. The crown is fallen from our head. Woe unto us that we have sinned. For this our heart is faint. For these our eyes are dim. Because of the mountain of Zion, which is desolate, the foxes walk upon it. Thou, O Lord, remainest forever, thy throne from generation to generation. Wherefore doest thou forgive or forsake us? Yes, doest thou forsake us forever and forsake us? So, I'm missing a part right there. I can't even see it. For us, so something time. Turn thou us unto the blank, turn us unto the Lord, and we shall be turned, renew our days as of old. But thou hast utterly rejected us. Thou art very wroth against us. And that's facts. The Most High is a very mad parent right now. He does not like the stuff that we've been doing, the stuff we've been engaging in, speaking on, doing. So we have to be able to change these narratives and get ourselves back right. So, but yes, it is time to take off now. It is time to build yourself up and heal and start connecting and re-engaging with the people that you love and care about, seeing how everybody is doing. I'm gonna start doing that, hitting everybody up, checking up on everybody, Sometimes we gotta do that. So, but that is the end of Lamentations chapter 5, and that is the end of the book of Lamentations. So, Baruch Hashem.